It's such a good song, bro.
Dude, fucking bad.
Yeah, so Seth, thank you for coming on the podcast. Thank you for meeting us halfway because it's we're here in Long Beach right now.
Yeah, thanks for making the trip, man.
Shout out to Oliver in his studio for setting this up for us. Congrats on like all the content you've been doing, and
It's more than I could have ever imagined. There was a time I remember when it first like popped off. I used to look at the follower count every day and I'd be like we're at 125, we're at 126,000, and now it's to the point where it's like so out of hand, where I'm just like, I have a lot here, I have a lot there, and it's more just like
get overwhelmed with the comments you can't even keep up, and yeah,
I try to read everything, dude. It's it's been awesome. I'm grateful, extremely grateful.
I went back to your TikTok to the beginning, so I don't know how you could tell the story,
I
but
scrolled all the way back.
I scrolled all the way back, bro, like 3 years. I think you did a cover of a song and someone commented you should do.
So the first one I played was Mi Religion by Tercer Elemento, and that was because of my old teammate Isaac Lefke, who's also big on TikTok and everything now, and his wife now, who's a Mexican girl, plays Evelyn Sorai. She plays accordion for Norteños.
Yeah.
So they told me to play Corridos. That was the first song that came up. Played it. And then the comment I think you're talking about is someone said, like, I bet you won't play El de la H. Like, you'll never listen to music the same ever again. As soon as I got that comment, listened to it, recorded the video, posted the next morning, and I think it got like 1.1 million views.
Just over, that's crazy.
Yeah, and like, so Mi Religion, didn't really vibe with me. I love Tercer Elemento now, but like in the early stages, like it was the first song I ever heard in that genre. Not really my speed. Like I get it sounds cool, but like I'm not playing this in the car. Shout out Chris, I'm sorry. Chris is super cool. But
yeah, and they were some of the ones that pushed in the whole new wave of like trap corridos and green corridos and all that stuff. So before you started doing the content, had you ever like heard of corridos? What was like was that your first introduction to the?
Never didn't know it existed or anything. I literally just YouTube corridos. And the top two songs it was Mi Religion, probably because it just came out. Mi Vida Ruina by Mario Camacho.
Yeah.
And that one was like super old school, and I was like, I'm gonna play the other one. And now like
he's like a cult legend. Yeah.
That's
so
like
you've been learning more about the culture, the more that you've been like trying different songs and people commenting different things.
It took a while like to get to that point because I don't speak Spanish. I'm getting better. I try practicing at work. They all say I speak like a baby. Like my grammar's terrible. But I've learned a lot more. Like ever since like I've gotten to go meet up with the guys from Dell Records, guys from Retro Humilde, kind of like see behind the scenes and talk to them about their story, like where they came from, where they're at now. I think just it's an overwhelming feeling of family that I'm getting from this genre and this connected culture to it.
What does your like when you first started doing this? Like, what are your friends or your family? Because you're from New York, so
yeah,
you're from New York. Then you went to play football in Arkansas.
Yep.
And then you were a long snapper, right?
Yeah.
So how's the journey? How did you go from you went to play college football, then doing the content? Like, take us back to.
So, reason why I played football in college was because I got a full scholarship, and I didn't. I still have siblings that are paying off their student debt, so I wanted to get that paid for. Went to Wyoming for 1 year to play ball. Ended up transferring out to Arkansas State for the next 4. Did well. Was on scholarship. All that. And I just come from a music family. I played drums my entire life, jazz bands, all that stuff. Typical like white kid things, I was in concert band and everything. And then COVID happened, and my dad's a guitarist, incredible guitarist, but he can't play corridos. I try to teach him.
Yeah.
And I had a roommate that had a guitar, my man Cody, and I was like, hey, like, can I play it? Because he wasn't playing it anymore. He just had it. So I taught myself guitar about 2 weeks over COVID. So I want to surprise my dad at Christmas and be like, hey, like, let me see that. And I'd tear it up. Then, like, if you went all the way back, you probably saw my videos that weren't Corridos. So I was just playing, like, just some kind of, like, funk jams and stuff like that. And that's when old teammate and Evelyn, they were like, play Corridos. And that's how I just kind of fell into it. And
that was the middle of 2020 during COVID?
2020. It would be, I want to say it was May 2020 was when I started posting Corridos videos. Yeah.
May 2020, yeah. And then your friends and family, they're like, what the hell are you doing? Like, and you just blew up out overnight. Like, that's...
Like, they weren't talking smack or anything. Like, they had no negative feelings about it. But, like, the majority was... Because I was in Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
And I got family all up around the East Coast. All my friends are East Coast. And, because this is something, like, this genre is very heavily in, like, the LA area or even California, Texas.
Southern border town, border cities, yeah.
And so all my friends are like, they're like, yeah, like, that's cool. like, sweet. They're like, oh, cool. And I was like, you should listen to it sometime. Like, it's actually pretty cool. And they're like, it's Spanish. Like, I don't listen to that. I'm like, all right. It's like, you're lost. But now that it's gotten so much bigger where I'm like going to events, like I'm going to LAFC game tonight, getting invited out to that, and which is crazy. And now they're all like, dude, this is so cool. I was like, what happened?
Like, bro, this Peso Pluma slaps, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been a crazy ride.
And then, so you blew up. You were still in college when you blew up?
Still in college. I had one more year to play.
Once you graduated from college, like, or how was like your teammates when you were still playing football then when you started blowing up?
So they were all calling me like TikTok famous and everything. I mean, because they all would see my videos because I got my contact and TikTok throws your videos to your contacts. It was kind of chill. Like that level of football is everybody's pretty focused. Like you go to practice. So I mean, sometimes they'd call me like rock star and stuff like that because I played guitar. But it was pretty chill. Like there wasn't. It was really like we were there to play football, and and everybody's trying to get to that next level. So it wasn't a whole lot of, not like a lot of jokes or nothing made around it. Kind of just did my thing on the side.
And then content. When you started uploading content before you did Corridos, like, did you ever think like, oh man, I have to do something with music? Do you want to pursue something with music?
So,
or do you ever think like football was going to be something I want to pursue? Or
So, this reminds me of a text I got literally 2 nights ago from my brother. I feel like this would connect with you, like everything that you do. Being from like, you go to the Coachella, you're covering all that, you got your podcast, you got your business. So he texts me and he goes, how's football, how's music, how's all this? And I'm like, it's good. Like things are happening, working hard, hoping for the best. Mm-hmm. And he keeps telling me, he's like, pick one, run with it. Like be the best at the one thing. And there's a quote that I just found out the finishing too. And this is where I think you get it. It's you've heard Jack of all trades is a master of none.
Yeah.
Right? So the rest of that quote is, so Jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one.
Oh, wow.
So that's my perspective of it. I was like, I grew up playing music. I've always loved music. I'm gonna do music for the rest of my life. But I'm also doing football. And I got to go to the Broncos and spend a couple of days with them, and made it, I guess, professional at that point. And even with what I do with physics as an engineer, you don't have to pick one thing. Like, just do them all and have fun with it. You don't got to compromise with yourself. You can compromise with other people, you get in relationships with people and everything. But within yourself, just do it all.
Yeah, it's hard to just, it's like the niche down thing. Like, everyone's like, oh, niche, pick one thing and just stick to it. But then it's like, you're not being, like, real.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to force it.
Yeah, it shouldn't be forced. And, like, sometimes accidents happen and then, like, you start going a different direction that you never envisioned, Like, you start with music. The Corridos, so something happened to me with the Coachella content, similar to that. 2018, I've been doing YouTube since 2015. And then 2018, I've been going to Coachella since 2009, but I wasn't making content about it. And then I made a video, like, reacting to the lineup dropping. Just like, oh, the lineup drop. These are the artists that are playing.
Yeah.
And then I know I got like 10,000 views on YouTube.
That's crazy.
When I was averaging, like 100 views, 50 views a video. I was like, what the hell? And then people were like, oh, you got any tips? Then I made like 10 tips for Coachella. And then by the time Coachella passed and everything, like 30,000 views.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, it's like
kind of fall into it.
You fell into it, yeah. And then 2019, I made a bunch of Coachella videos. And then once Coachella came back, boom, I got a bunch of views and
Yeah.
kind of kicked everything off from there. But sometimes it's an accident. Sometimes you also have to take action.
Yeah.
Like you actually posting the videos and
Yeah.
you know, recording it, posting it, putting the hashtags. If you didn't do any of that, it is like even just posting when you have the video edited and you're just like, fuck, I gotta do all this.
See, you're on the YouTube side. I mean, I'm just getting into that, but like TikTok's easy. Point, shoot. It's like 10-second video, you're done.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, like especially with podcasting, even all the things that you cover, like I'm just realizing now how much time consuming that is for content, for editing. It's crazy. You almost need a team of people like doing.
Yeah, no, well, I've been working a little bit with a few people that have been helping me shoot some edits and just because it's so much.
It's a big commitment.
Yeah,
it is a lot. So it's impressive.
I have like terabytes full of content that I haven't even posted. Not like it's not like edited. It's a lot of raw stuff, but you know, like sometimes those raws you could like edit them, put some subtitles, something funny, and then just like a mass product. I call it like. We just consistently schedule everything out, you know, like 2-3 posts a day. I know, like, the algorithm, whatever, everything's going to pick up, you'll find the right audience, you know?
Yeah.
And I have all that just sitting there because I'm still trying to get that, like, I'm doing a lot, but I'm not, like, fully pushing everything out.
Right, yeah.
Trying to get there soon.
There's a lot, dude. I mean, I'm with you there. I feel the same way with stuff I do. I need to be filming more. I need to be, like, actually posting more content. I was talking about earlier, it's like sometimes you just gotta go to sleep, man. Just gotta fall asleep. Just try again tomorrow.
Yeah, there's also no like rules. I always say like break the rules because like even with music, corridos have been around like 100 years, 120, 50 years, whatever it is. But you know, like what about the next 150 years?
Right.
So yeah, there was rules of some people that were making music in the 50s or classic stuff in the 40s, but you know they were also trying to figure it out on their own, like coming up and some legends and stuff. Oh, there's going to be legends in the next 100 years. There's some people that are going to be born in 30 years from now, going to make crazy music and, you know.
Maybe just looking at the genre, like it used to be, so when I fell into it, it was all of, it was like a lot of Junior H, a lot of, like Deste Moro, Justin Morales.
Yeah.
That kind of, or even Nathaniel Cano, that like trap corridos. And now everything is corridos bellicos. It's the horns.
Charchetas and freaking tololoches. Yeah.
So like it's even just within 3 years, it's, like what becomes popular within the genre is like it changes everything.
And the sounds change, and even though it might be they take one instrument and add something else.
Yeah.
And then you have like the sad corridos.
Yeah.
You like Eslabon Albano, right? Yeah. You always like make their videos. I was watching Danny Lux. You know that's like a whole different more romantic side.
I always thought those were happy songs, man. Like the Fast and Super. Like not knowing the language, like. It's jazz chords. It's upbeat. You know, it sounds happy.
Yeah.
Like the first, I want to say the first, or like the fourth and the first chord of Hugaste Sufi are both major chords. Major chords are like happy sounding, just in general. So I'm like, this is a happy song, and then people are like, no, like, no, this song is heartbreak. Like this hurts. Like people are crying over this song. I was like, I gotta look up the lyrics.
Yeah, that's I mean. Sometimes those songs are the ones that stick the most, you know, that make people get the feelings. Romantic songs, because it's cool like those like fast songs.
Yeah.
But also you gotta change the pace, you know. It's like it can't just all be bellico and trap.
Pulls at you a little bit more.
What's your favorite artist so far that you could say like your favorite artist?
Ooh.
There's no wrong answers.
I don't want to hurt them because I know they're gonna call me out. Dude, I'd say right now. Who I go back to the most to listen to is Junior H.
Junior H.
Yeah. It's Mi Vida en un Cigarro Dos are two. Songs like El Hijo de Señor, El Nene, Nasi para Amante. I can't get these words right, but dude, that whole album's fire. And it wasn't one of their biggest ones, I don't think. But just as a musician, like I loved it.
Have you ever seen them live?
I did. I got to go to Microsoft Theater and see them there.
Nuts. When was this?
This was December.
Maybe? Oh, it just happened.
It just happened, yeah.
That's sick.
So JB is one of the co-founders of Rancho Milde, and he's just, I love this man to death. Like the way he operates, like he's just such a good, genuine dude. I love the way he operates, and he's like, hey, like, come to the concert. I was like, absolutely, of course. And the whole time he was just like, he was showing me around. He was like introducing me to people. It was just like I said like before, like family. Like I got there and I was like, I felt like he was an uncle or something. Like I've known him forever, which was just super cool. And just to see him and like Rancho Milde grow. Like I got to go to this groundbreaking event. Their new offices, like, not like a headquarters, but they got like a studio there and everything.
Oh yeah, I saw some of those.
Dude, it's super cool just to see like him also succeed and like keep doing things. It's just to see growth out of like people that you care about. Yeah, that's some of the fun
just people that you meet and then you're like, oh shit, they're doing this right now. Oh damn, they're doing that. Like, it's motivating. It's part of like I feel the world is big enough for everybody that wants to do something cool or a good business or whatever they want to do. You know, people have different goals, but like sometimes I feel like the culture is changing. But a lot of time with Mexican culture, it was always like people would just like put each other down.
For real.
Yeah, for the longest time, like they always say the biggest hater of a Mexican is like another Mexican. That was always like a thing. But I think times are changing. I think people are starting to see like it's also a different culture because it's come from America. Like a lot of the Rancho Milde, all those artists, they started here first. Right. And at first they didn't want the Mexico, like people in Mexico, they didn't support it because for some reason, like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what
like it's not real or something like
that's not the real like Mexican music or this and that, but it's part of there's no rules because they're growing up on this piece of land surrounded by this culture, and then the sounds they make maybe from the streets, like JLP and them, like they came singing kind of stuff in the streets in LA, or it could be singing about weed and shit like the rappers. That's a culture in LA. It's like rappers talking about weed and girls and partying and jewelry. So now that's in the corridos now instead of like some shit about cartels. Like they sing about cartels sometimes, and so that's like a whole different topic. But like I feel like people are just making fun music. I think that priority is fun music that people just want to like dance to or just party with.
So that's what I'm still learning is the all the different avenues of it. Like I've had comments where people will be like I'll play something by like Nathaniel Cano. This is early days, or at least for me, early days. And you get like a handful of comments being like, "This is trash." Like play like Miguel y Miguel, which is freaking great as well. But Nathaniel Cano's one of the top artists. Like he's freaking awesome. Like his music
he's my favorite right now.
Dude, he's awesome. Like him, Dan Sanchez, all of them. But there's definitely a divide, I guess, within the genre. There's people that'll knock it for being like, oh, they're just rapping, like you said, the whole jewelry and weed and like girl stuff type thing. But that's like, I mean, look at any kind of like American rapper. I mean, I don't say American, but like
just rappers,
like rappers from like Atlanta or something like that. It's I mean, it's the same stuff.
It's flaunting, he's just flaunting Gucci this and freaking expensive cars and mansions, and that's like they're living that like. That everybody aspires to, like, oh, I wish I was in a fucking mansion right now with a bunch of girls and fucking champagne and a Lamborghini here. That's like why Andrew Tate blew up last year too, because he was tapping into that too, like fucking flaunting shiny objects, you know. And I always say like we're human, but we're still animals, bro. We're still fucking apes. Yeah. We see shiny things. Shiny, we want to go towards it. That's just cool, like you know. Or they see a dude and he's surrounded by girls, like. Subconsciously, that dude is cool. Even if it's like a video and they paid for the models and they rent to the mansion, they don't even actually own it. Sometimes they actually rent the jewelry just for the music video too.
That's wild. I didn't even think about renting jewelry.
It's props, bro. Yeah. Because it's like you're gonna buy a $2 million fucking chain, or you rent it for the day. I don't know how much the fees are, but
that's $2 million.
Yeah, you know, like expenses for the freaking the empresa Rancho Milde pays for it.
That is wild.
It's. Yeah, sometimes they do have this stuff, but
that's like the financially smart way to go.
Yeah,
like as like irresponsible that lifestyle is, like that is a very responsible thing to do.
one of my favorite songs when I first started. You got any song requests?
Your plan for music, is that something that you just wanted to happen, like on the side, or you're really like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna be an artist?
So I'm still an engineer. I'm still doing football, or at least trying to do football. Music, you know, or I can put it the other ways. You know, football has a time limit. You know, once you get to a certain age, your body starts breaking down. You can't maintain it that like high level of athleticism, and then that whole thing kind of ends. So I'm still putting a lot of time into football, which pulls me away from music. But it's because music, I can do that thing. I can play music till I'm dead. You know.
Yeah, there is a finite. For football, what do you mean? You're still trying to?
Yeah, still trying, man. I've had get a couple of phone calls every once in a while. Rarely ever turns into anything.
Well, long snapper. Or
long snapper, yeah.
And long snapper, those positions they last a long time. So.
Things just it's you can't mess up. Like quarterbacks, right? You can throw a pick and you'll go out the next series. Snapper, kicker, punter, you mess up once,
zero chance,
gone.
And how long you been long snapping for in high school? Were you long snapper?
So I was a linebacker.
I played college, community college football. I played high school and then 2 years of community college, and always the best long snappers were linebackers for some reason.
Yeah,
always.
Maybe kind of like a similar frame, you know. But yeah, no, I started long snapping senior year because I found out you can get a scholarship for that, and I was like, this is easy, like I could do that.
Yeah.
Ended up got linked up through a coach, through my guy Conrad Brake, and that's what ended up getting me, you know, a full scholarship. But it's it's New York football, so like as a linebacker, like where am I gonna play? Like even though I was defensive player of the year for New York State my year, went and played D3 football. So like football level's not like it is in Texas, and even California's got good football. Right? I think it's Vegas. They have Bishop Gorman.
Yeah,
elite schools. Every state has that. But not New York. New York's football's terrible.
Y'all know Seace La Pizza?
Yeah.
I just found out recently that that's Chavez. Yeah.
Chavez.
It has something to do with pizza or something. I just remember this one. Hold on. I wanted to make a video for this for a long time. But it's... I have to play with the song.
Seeing you play, bro, makes me want to play. You know?
That's just what
Seeing you play makes me want to play, bro.
Exactly. Approached in public, like a lot of people like, hey, I see you.
A couple times. It's usually, they don't recognize it unless I either have a guitar in my hands or if I'm like standing there for a while. Yeah. So I just look like another white dude when I'm walking around. But I had it once in Target where this guy, I was getting groceries and everything. This dude comes up to me and he's like, Scott. And I was like, Seth. And he starts playing air guitar. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So like, I'm like, I guess you say like kind of famous, but at the same time, like I'm at that level where people will get my name wrong every time and they're not going to know exactly
I know you from somewhere. I don't know where, but I know you from somewhere.
And they're like, you're that white boy. And I'm like, that's me. So I get a lot of that, yeah.
And have you been to like jaripeos, like those Mexican rodeos?
No.
You haven't been invited
I've
to
never even heard that word before. What was that?
Jaripeo.
Jaripeo. Okay.
It's the word for a Mexican rodeo.
Okay.
So they do like bull riding, and then at the end they have like bands. Well, the music's playing the whole time the bulls are riding.
Yeah.
But everyone's like watching the ring, and then after like a couple hours of that happening, then everyone just dances at the end. And there's like people drinking. There's like usually some famous bands or some older washed up artists. Like,
I gotta get out to one of those, dude. I love rodeos.
You gotta come, bro. I'll show you the highlight that we did recently.
That'd be sick. They do that in Coachella?
So they just did the first one in the city.
Okay.
We made like a whole vlog. I'll show it to you after. And then they're having the next one coming up soon. So maybe you're interested. That should
be in touch, man. I'll come out.
No, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people there be like, "Whoa, that's crazy."
All right, we'll see.
I'm gonna put you on game, bro.
That'd be cool, man.
Do you think there's gonna come a point where you have to choose? Well, you're still doing that now. You are doing everything.
Well, so I'm gonna keep doing football until my body can't. Right? When if I start breaking things or things like muscle tears, I'll be like, all right, for longevity purposes, I'll be done. But right now, I mean, the music thing's kind of taken off. I've been in the studio with a couple of artists, and I'm recording stuff almost every other weekend, just like demos that I'm pulling together.
Are you gonna be singing stuff?
I don't know if I'll be singing. I mean, maybe at some point.
Just collabs,
almost like composing, I guess. Putting the chords together, writing requintos. So I met a ton of musicians that there's this guy named Kevin in Texas, and I'm like, hey, I need some Tolo Loche. Can you send this to me today? I'm going to Rancho Humilde and I want to show this guy named Jose, who's their marketing guy, super cool dude. And he's like, yeah, for sure. Sends it back. I put it on the track, mix it up, kinda, because it's a demo, and then I'll bring it and I'll show it to the guys. I'm like, oh, that's sweet. Maybe something comes to that. But music, or as far as my physics or engineering job, I hope that none of my bosses watch this. But we are working on our exit. It may not be this year. It may not be next year. And my parents probably freak out. They'd be like, don't leave your job. But it's the music thing's kicking off, dude. And as soon as that side, if the music money is enough to replace the engineering money, which I'm super grateful for. It was a hard degree, and you get compensated for that, I guess, difficulty in work.
Yeah.
But as soon as I can replace it, I mean, I would love to go spend 40 hours a week on music. Would love to. But that's not paying like the engineering is, so.
Yeah, the influencer is... People think just because you have a lot of followers that you're making a lot of money, or you're like, oh, your videos got that many views? Yeah, but it's not getting paid like $1 fucking per view. Or, are you monetized already on TikTok, YouTube, and all those platforms? Because and you mentioned one of your videos that sometimes they censor they monetize your videos because the song gets picked up. Is that still happening all the time?
Yeah. So Dell Records is the only one so far that just whitelisted me. Now there's I'm assuming there's rules to it.
Whitelist is what is that?
As in I can use their music, any of the Dell Records music in my videos. Where Rancho Humilde, I get demonetized every time. I talk to the guy that so Jose, who owns that, that's his baby, the YouTube channel. He's like, I'm gonna try. He's like, I'll try to help you out somehow. Because you can sometimes there's a revenue share, I think it is on videos.
Yeah, they do a split. You get nothing.
Rancho Humilde's nothing. And they got so much good music coming out, and I'm like, I want to make a video for it, but I'm like...
Hey, does it get picked up when you're listening to the song or when you're playing it? Does it get picked up when you play a song?
It's just whenever because I'll have the music video in the background, so whenever the audio from the music video is playing in the video, music picks it up.
You ever try more editing, letting it play less?
Because
that happened to me right now with the Coachella video. So a lot of my videos...
Oh, because they have
the music gets picked up. So some of them are not monetized, but some of them are though. I got one video that's at 200,000 and it never got picked up. So I got some money there. But then there's other ones that have 1.5 million views. Yeah. And it got flagged right away. So
you got Dua Lipa, it's songs in the background. They can't have that whole video.
It's cool though, but it's I think it's organic marketing. So I'm at least they might come to my channel.
That's why I keep doing it.
It's part of if that's working, just keep going at it. Yeah. Sometimes you don't know where the road is gonna end, but just keep going. Yeah. Usually, the last two Coachellas I got a video that got over 1 million, and this year I got one at 500,000. It was a Bad Bunny video with Grupo Frontera. Yeah. We recorded some of it. It's at 500,000 now, but hopefully by next year.
Did you hear the story behind that? When Bad Bunny first got on it?
No.
With that track, no. So I can't remember who was telling me. I think it was Beautiful Live Nation, but so Grupo Frontera, they go to that where they shot the music video, right? They go out there to shoot the music video, and it was their management, whatever. The guy from VHR, I think his name's actually Victor, so he's the label. He's like, hey, we got a surprise for you guys. And so like they go down there, they shoot the music video, and then Bad Bunny shows up and they shoot the whole thing again. And that's like, you see the final video, like the smiles on Frontera's face. They're like, they're like, Bad Bunny's here. They never even heard that version with Bad Bunny on it. And it was all like very spontaneous.
Oh, because they were trying to keep it secret.
Yeah, it just makes the video like that much better.
Damn, I gotta watch it again.
And then he bought, I gotta remember who I was talking to. I think it was the guys at Dell Records that like produce everything. They were saying that Bad Bunny was like, hey, that blue truck, he's like, I want that truck. And they're like, there you go. And they sold him the truck.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they debuted that song on a Monday. In between the two Coachella weekends, and then they played it on Friday. So the song came out on Monday, and they played it on Friday.
That quick?
Yeah, and then the group from there came out. They were sick. They played No Seba and Bebe Dame. No. Bebe. Yeah, so they played that song, and then they played the Bad Bunny song. Like, that was pretty crazy. And now it's like, for us, like, as a culture, for like Mexican music and stuff, like the last 3 years, now it's mainstream. Like some of the top 10 songs, you have like 3 or 4 Mexican songs in there.
But it's top 1 too. Like the number 1 song has been flipping between Ella Bala Sola and the Grupo Frontera.
100%. Yeah, they've both been back and forth, and then just like Peso Pluma blew up within like 18 months to the top of the industry, and that's breaking records and breaking. I think it's gonna be at Coachella next year. Who's like the best guitar, or like the one that plays the best that you like from all like the famous groups?
Okay.
That you like just love playing? Junior H or something?
So I love Junior H. It's very the way I see a guitar. It's so being a drummer. The way I see a guitar is it's just a drum but with notes. So it's very rhythmic, which is why I love Junior H. Like Pantera. First of all, shout out Pantera. Love him to death. I take a bullet for that guy. He supported me since the beginning. He was one of the first artist to even like repost any of my stuff and even reach out. And he was like, "Hey, like great job." And he's the same dude. Like seeing him at the concert, the exact same guy, just super genuine. But the way his style, it's very rhythmic. It's very melodic at the same time. So I think it's not super complex, but I'd say he's one of my favorites as far as like just writing requintos as a whole. And then, I mean, I'd say Damien from Esteban Armado. He's their new requinto, requintero. Requintista. He's been there for maybe about a year now. He's got really good feel and touch for what he plays. I'm trying to think of like some other artists. I wish I remembered his name. I just found out about him maybe like a couple months ago. The dude I was talking about earlier, who was just like, I see him on Instagram. He's unreal.
You guys, I'm curious.
I think it's Ray Costa. I think his name is. I want to say that's right. Ray Costa. Dude, he's nuts. He's like him and I'd say Angel Asburo are the ones that I watch, and I just like I'm watching their picking hand. I'm trying to like. They're dudes that I dissect their technique and like I'm trying so hard to get.
And I see. So when you're reacting to the songs on YouTube, like you just pick up how you just like figure it out. How long does it take you from like the first view to like actually playing it?
So it depends on the song. Some of them I'll pick up really easily, but then at the same time there's other ones that I'm like I just can't figure out and it takes me forever to get it right. Like even Ella Baila Sola, I had the chords. But Damien was like, you missed one. And I was like, I kept trying to figure it out. I sent him a couple like chord shapes. I was like, is it this? And he's like, I play that note, but not that chord. And I was like, dude. But as far as like picking it up, like rhythm has always been something that's been super easy to me. I think it's just me being a drummer growing up. Like rhythm is in my blood. So if I hear, it's a drum. If I hear any kind of rhythm, I don't have to think about like, okay, my right hand's gonna go, like it's gotta strum this way. Like my right hand already knows what to do just by listening to it. So really all I got to figure out is like, okay, what chord are we hitting? Like, where does this left hand go? And that, I used to live stream for, past 3 years, where people would recommend a song. And being new to the genre, I didn't know any of this music, so it's all new. So I was learning everything by ear for like 2 years straight. So I think that's where I've gotten like, I've been able to be like, all right, find the bass line. Now what's this chord sound like? Is it dreamy? Is it, a little spicier? And it all just kind of comes together. So I mean,
and then you just, after doing that for like 3 years, or when did you start doing the tutorials, like the Quinto tutorials and all that? Because that's really
that's when I first moved out here. Yeah, when I first moved out here. That's so a year ago. Is when I started posting those longer YouTube video tutorials.
What other kind of videos have you thought of doing? Like, besides tutorials and reactions, have you thought of doing other types of content?
I've thought, like, I would have loved to do a podcast. Like our man Oliver with the OT crew. Like, the same concept he was talking about is, and I even did it for a little bit, but it was terrible. I did a terrible job. There's so many people around you that aren't famous, right? But like owners of restaurants, owners of any kind of business, even just somebody that you like meet while you're playing beach volleyball.
Yeah.
They got crazy stories. I found out is everybody knows everybody, and everybody has a story to tell. Snappers, punters, and kickers, we're kind of like the ugly stepchild of the football family. Like we're weird people, right? Because we're not quarterbacks, we're not wide receivers, we're not flashy.
So the same thing as like offensive linemen. It's the like least respected. I used to play O-line.
Yeah, but y'all, the work you put in, it's a lot different. Like you're like doing like line drills, right? You're taking your steps. You look over the sideline, you see a kicker just like on the bench, squirting water on the ground.
You guys are always hugging around, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I always notice that. Not, but you guys are like just like machines, just looking.
Like when it's on, it's on. But like we gotta find ways to entertain ourselves the rest of practice.
Just playing soccer.
Yeah, just messing around. But the way you get respect is by being the best. If you're a kicker, snapper, punter, we'll use kickers for example. But like if you're a kicker and you're missing your kicks, team's gonna be like, you don't do anything in practice and you miss your kicks. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
But like this kid Blake Groupie, so he was my kicker for 4 years. Ended up transferring to Notre Dame his senior season. Now he's on the Saints. He's like 5'10", 150, and like you like offensive lineman, you can pick him up with one hand. He's that small, but he makes his kicks and he's dang good.
Yeah.
So there's like he gets so much respect because he's like sometimes you win games because of this little kid.
It's like one of those professions that if you do your job and it's good, you don't get the recognition, but as soon as you mess up, that's it.
Right, yeah. But I wouldn't have it any other way. It's kind of addicting, that like pressure. Yeah.
How does it feel like when have you ever kicked like game winners where like
I've got a couple, yeah.
Like 5. Like how does it feel cuz you're the snap, bro, like
you just kind of black out. Like you just run out there and do it. Like even so we were all roommates, but so Cody, I think I talked about him earlier. He's out playing Canadian right now, Canadian League. He was the punter, and we had the same thing. Is like, I'd be like, "Hey, how's the punt?" And he'd be like, "I don't know." And he's like, "How's the snap?" And I was like, "I don't know." You just kind of go, you just black out, do your job. Like you resort to your training. You've been doing this for 5 years, practicing every day. Like you should be able to turn your brain off and just do it.
Just automatic.
Yeah. If you think too much, I mean, that's when things go wrong. So just do your job.
Yeah. And so how was your move from Arkansas to is it Southern California? No, it's
Santa
not.
Barbara's, I mean, I guess it's like dead smack in the middle almost.
Yeah.
It's north of LA, it's still on the coast, so I mean.
How was that transition just going from, first from New York to Arkansas and then to, different parts of different vibes, different environments, different...
So I've always been far from home. And I don't know if I would consider myself like super extroverted, but I've always been willing to like have conversations with people, meet people, and then you just kind of make a family wherever you're at. So like I started in Wyoming, and then I went to Arkansas for 4 years, and then lived in Florida for a little bit while I was training for football, the draft and everything, and then I lived in Atlanta for a couple of months, and then back to New York, got the job, and then drove 3,000 miles to California. I didn't even know Santa Barbara existed. And people are like, ooh, it's really nice. And then I'm like, yeah, like it's cool. Like I can't wait. And I get there and like I go to get like a sub, go to a deli and it's $30. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. You just spend $6 on a sub. It's expensive there. But it's yeah, I've never been too comfortable or uncomfortable away from home. Like you find people.
Yeah, especially if you're always doing something,
Yeah. Gotta find
like
people.
Football creates like a whole community and family because you're training with like certain group of people for a whole year of meetings and weight room and practice you have them in class too. Like you have usually a lot of times you end up with your teammates in the classes because you guys have to have the same schedule in order to go to practice and go that. So it's just a bond. Like you have to play. I mean, you played a lot longer, but like it's just I'm still super friends. Even if I don't talk to them every day, just friends with people that play football with.
I just talked to I haven't seen him in maybe like 3 years, but he was one of the quarterbacks He literally called me up yesterday to be a groomsman. And I was like, so honored. Like, that's amazing. Like, dude, like, how have you been? Like, I haven't seen you in 3 years. But it's that same thing. It's like, you spend that time, like, amount of time with people. Like, you can probably call up whoever, like, left guard, right guard, tackle. Be like, what's up, man? And he'd be like, yo, what's up, Angel? Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just, I don't know. You just, I guess, spend time with people.
Yeah.
Well, so going back to the music. So right now, what's like the thing that you wish that Mexican artists or these artists would do more that they're not, that other genres do, or the...
It's like almost throwing the question like in the opposite direction. I think other genres should be doing more of what like this Corridos genre and these artists are doing. The way they're collaborating so much, like every album now, like
it's all collabs.
It's collabs, and it's like, why not? Like you get to mix these two different styles. It's all the same Corridos, right? But it's like different little niches. Like you got Oscar Maidon and Esteban Armado coming together to make a song. And it's like unusual for both of them, like that final style, but it works. So I would love to see, like, imagine like I'm so out of touch with like all the other genres. That's all I listen to is like Corridos, but like
Corridos all day.
If you did like Drake and like imagine doing like Drake, Travis Scott, and I don't know, man, just like another rapper, just getting a bunch of people on track. And 21 Savage. I mean, I guess they already did, but like
just keep doing it. Because to me, one thing I noticed is I love going to, I love corridos and shit. Like, that's my favorite genre. I went to Grupo Arriesgados, one of the last shows before they broke up, with Pantebélico. At these live shows, if they do a collab, now you can play that song live.
Yeah.
So instead of you just playing your album, or like people might know 3-4 songs from your album, the rest are like your personal favorites. Yeah. You're doing collab, and you know they're blowing up and certain, you know, something really popular or not. But now when you play it live, it's like you're just playing hits. Yeah. You're just playing the song you had with Junior H, the song you had with Eslabon, the song you had. And that's what Forza Regida is doing, bro. Their marketing is crazy, bro. Like, and a new song every like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, new song, new song, new collab, new song, new collab.
Dude, they're a brand. They're not even a group anymore. They are a brand. Forza Regida is a brand. It's like whoever's, I don't know if it was JOP or who in that group, if there was somebody outside of it that was directing that whole like motivation to be like, hey, make a ton of content, build a brand.
I think it's gonna be JOP, bro, because he was a YouTuber.
Okay.
So he was a YouTuber. At the same time he blew up, he was making vlogs.
Yeah.
So he always had like the content and like daily vlogs. And even after he blew up, he was doing them. Then he stopped maybe like 2-3 years ago. He kind of stopped the channel.
Yeah.
And now they're doing that same style of vlogs, but with Fuerza Regida. So now they're doing like the border, playing in the border, and like, giving people money. And now they had a song that came out this weekend or yesterday with TQM. The song is called TQM. It has Lana Rhodes. She's like the main actress in the video. Just that, because like everyone just starts commenting like, what the fuck, that's crazy.
Right,
And like it's done because the reaction is like people think it's real. Like she's just a hired actress for the video. Or even like Bad Bunny dating Kylie Jenner, bro. It's marketing. They might be in a real relationship, whatever, but it's all marketing, bro.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Absolutely. No, you're spot on.
You gotta see it. I like to see shit from the marketing side. I always think of these marketing.
Yeah, I mean, once you get on that side, like, even for myself, once I got onto that side of the world, like, or that perspective of like understanding the marketing behind everything, you look at everything in a different way. Like even like sporting events to everything, you see like the marketing side. Yeah, you'd be like, this was all planned. Like they did this. I'm not saying like scripted stuff, but like it was very intentional.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. I think they still play because they still play, but definitely there's interest. Is like if this team wins, or this quarterback wins, or this team, whatever, the storyline, because that's what ESPN does, is like they tell stories of, you know, they came from nowhere, and
they're prepared, they're prepared for whatever outcome.
Programming is crazy.
They know exactly what they're going to do if like a certain scenario plays out.
It's all storytelling. I guess sports are rigged a little bit, I think. You know?
I don't know.
A little bit.
Maybe. I want to touch that. It's
You're trained so hard, like how could it be rigged? You know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were at the World Cup because Messi and they're winning. It's like it created like the perfect story for anybody growing up that wants to be a soccer player. Like he came from nowhere, got signed to a big team, he won it all in the club.
Took his whole career to get up.
Then he won with the international and like a 20-year career. And it's like if he wins, then it's like FIFA has 50 years of marketing that story. You know, billions of people. That's the way it's just like, it makes perfect sense, but also it could be because he's badass too.
Right.
Sometimes fucking lucky bouncy in there, you know.
I do it all on my own, man. It's I just do it all on my own. It's a lot, but like.
And then replying to comments, do you like put a time schedule to do that, or how do you keep up with that?
I'll just like free time. I'll just open up my phone, like scroll through some comments and reply to people. A lot of people ask the same questions, so like it's easy to answer. You kind of pick it out and they're like, "What strings are you using?" I'll be like, "Those are 1047. Here you go."
Do you ever put like shortcuts? You should put your shortcuts.
What do you mean like shortcuts?
So on iPhone,
like
a phrase. So like, what string or what guitar do you recommend? A lot of people always you could put like a whole phrase and then just put like D as the like shortcut, and I'll be like, I recommend this guitar. Saves a lot of time. I do that shit. I do that shit on my comments because it's a lot of people do ask the same stuff. Certain phrases, you know, you can do that. I do that with my email too. Like when people ask for my email, I have like a shortcut, just like
it's smart,
Just it saves you 15 seconds today, but like over the next 5 years,
adds up, man.
That's 30 minutes.
Adds up. Yeah.
Well, thank you, bro. Thank you for making the drive, and pleasure meeting you. And definitely gotta get to Jaripeo, bro.
I'll show you. That's I guess the next time that I'll be seen on the channels. I'll be down at the. I don't even know how to say it. What is it?
Jaripeo.
Jaripeo. I'll be there.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you to Oliver. In the studio, OT crew for allowing the space, and then shout out to all of his brothers. Alright, thank you guys for watching. We should like to subscribe. See you next time.
Cool. Sweet, man.